Hi everyone, it's Hazel here from Mixed Media Art Journaling on a Shoestring. I think I've got that right. Anyway, greeting you all from sunny South Africa. And yes, indeed, it is actually sunny today. We've had some shocking weather over the past couple of weeks, but it is now better. And here I am on the 5th of December. Fairly late, but my excuse is that we were on holiday and came back on the 2nd, and it's taken me a couple of days to get sorted out. So I have in the meantime made a couple of things, or started a couple of things off camera. So let's have a look at it. The page tab and moth-eaten lace. What I did was I combined them together. And until I've caught up people, I'm just doing one of everything, okay? But this is my little tab. As you can see, it will fit on the page like so. Hang on a minute, let me get my act together here. There we go. It's going to fit on the page like so. And on the other side, I have another one of my little Zentangles. Olé, Olé, I think that one is. But that is my first little challenge. Was my first prompt sorted out. The moth-eaten lace is this. There's where the moths have been eating. And the one-page tab. So I've done that one. Let me just clip this on here so things don't get lost. Then floating pockets and bold numbers. I have started this. So let's have a look at that. Let's put this over here out of the way. My partner in crime, Candy, has gifted me with all sorts of gorgeous things for this challenge, and one of the things she gave me was bold numbers. So that is fantastic. Thank you, my friend. And what I've done for the what are they called, floating pocket, is I've made a pocket that will fit over a page. So let's take the prompt page back again, and I will be able to show you. Let's fold it. So this can hang over a page. I intend to use an altered paper clip to hold it in position. And there is the pocket on this side, and there is the pocket on that side. So I'm going to carry on working on this right now, so that this video is not far too short to be interesting. And what I've done is oh, by the way, what I'm going to do is my Remembery journal that I keep talking about. That is where I'm going to be putting most of the things that I make on here. And the Remembery is a journal of parts of my family history that have just been chatted about and have never been written down or given official recognition. Starting from the Edwardian era, well, actually going back to the Victorian days, because I have a photograph of my grandfather as a baby. To put it into context, I'm 79 years old, so you can imagine that my living history goes back a fair distance as well. But this is what I'm using as a basic color for part of my Remembery, the part that deals with antique times. So in other words, anything more than 70, anything more than 100 years ago, is going to be made recognizable by this color. And an old magazine, here's the evidence, from 1916. So that is what I'm decorating these floating pockets with. History lesson over. Let's start doing something constructive here. Now, what I've decided to do, because I rather love the artwork, you know, it's being from the time that it is, it's Art Deco. No, it's Art Nouveau. This is not Art Deco, this is Art Nouveau. So that is going to go on the front of my pocket like that. So let's attach this. I will trim it with the scissors once the paper has dried. And I'm using glue stick because this old magazine has become very fragile with age, seeing as how it's well over 100 years old. In fact, it's pretty much, I think next year it will be 120 years old. 10 years, 110 years old. Okay, so this is going to go here. And what I do with this paper, you know, this magazine, is I paint over it with liquid matte medium, which doesn't affect the color at all, but it does protect the paper and stop it from becoming very unpleasant. So there we go. That's going to look quite nice. That's going at the bottom, and then up here is where I'm going to put my bold numbers. Where did I think I'd put it? That's right. I would do that. And I'm going to put a bit of music paper just above it because it's also on pretty old paper. So it kind of fits into the color scheme. This is quite exciting for me. I've not ever done any challenge quite the same as this, seeing as how I've done about 2 or 3 challenges in my life. Perhaps that's understandable, but yeah, I can see it's going to be great fun. You know, it's been a little bit of a stressful start because I've been so concerned about getting in late and possibly letting my friend Candy down. Fortunately, I was able to not do such a thing, and I got back from my little break, and Candy left almost immediately for her little break. So we are kind of separated for now, but we do have our little gift boxes, and we have exchanged those, and Candy's gone off now to have her break, and when she gets back we'll start to collaborate again. But it has been great fun. I'm glad she persuaded me to get involved with this one. So I wasn't sure that I sort of wondered if I'd have the time. But she has persuaded me that I can make the time if I have to. So let's do that. And of course, nattering away here, I have once again, which is my favorite thing to do, forgotten to ink around the edges of everything. Never mind, I can give it a bash a little bit later on. This actually looks like it would be quite fun. This is the back page, I think, of the back cover of the magazine. But it's a big advertisement for Wolf Brothers watches on 34 Adderley Street, opposite railway station, Cape Town. So there we have it. And we have a free gift of a Burma silver watch chain and charm to any purchaser sending cash when ordering a watch. Price 20 shillings for post free. Price 20 shillings post free, 25 years guarantee. I think I'm just going to cut out the whole watch story, because there's some rather lovely little pieces down each side advertising rings. A solid gold ring set with 3 diamonds, 50 shillings. It's unreal. When you think back, we're talking pounds and shillings, of course, but one wonders what the cost of living, how everything actually worked, because I'm quite sure that people probably got paid something insane, like 10 shillings a week or something, I imagine. I'm not sure. Actually, I'm getting more and more, curiouser and curiouser about everything. So I might end up actually trying to find out exactly what it was like living in that period, and what everybody had. When you look at the prices of things in this magazine, it's quite an eye-opener. It's actually quite lovely and difficult to believe that you can buy an entire solid wood mahogany bedroom suite for £5. Okay, now this is another one. I've made it pretty even, so I don't think, no, I think what I will do is just cut that top section off. There we go, that side pops up over the top of the lace, but I'm quite sure that doesn't matter. Let me just trim that. It's quite funny where I've been using these, pieces out of this magazine. I realized after a while it was because everything is done by hand in those days, the printing and, everything. And sometimes the beautiful columns of print don't line up quite right with the edge of the paper. But as I said, it's not surprising, seeing as how it was done by hand. Okay, well, I'll use what I have, and sit and go through all Candy's lovely things properly. I think I can put some washi tape up each side of that, and that will look fine. I have washi tape with the right colors, so let's have a look and see. That one might be a little bit too dark. That one's better, and it's got purple on it, so that's the one I'm going to put on here. Just going to leave a tiny little gap on each side of it. Just makes it look better. Now this I saw somebody doing, and I think it's so clever. They used some kind of a gift card, and washi tape cuts off perfectly like that. How's that? Goodness me, it's almost identical. It's at almost the identical level again. Let me show you once I've taken this off. Look at that. There's the two little purple flowers. It's almost identical. Pity it's not a mirror image, hey? Never mind. That's just my pretty little Virgo brain. And here I've managed to... I'll just trim that with the scissors just now. I think that looks rather nice. Makes it completely different from this side. And should I? No, I think I'll make I'll make a tag that goes in here, and I will use the same washi tape as this on the tag that will fit in here. And right now I'm not going to do any more because I'm not 100% sure what page this is going to be on in my remembery. So I have achieved my challenge. There is my hanging pocket, floating pocket, and my bold numbers. So I think that's done. And now I'm going to move on to the next prompt, which is what? Where did I put my page? Here it is. Okay, floating pockets done and dusted. Can tick that one off. The next one is postcard and hand or machine sewing. Well, that's pretty easy because dear Candy has given me two adorable little postcards images, and I can now play with those. For the next challenge, it was postcard or hand machine letters, then journaling card and tiny letters. Awesome, because then the journaling card will end up going into my pocket. So that is perfect. Prompt was postcard and hand or machine sewing. Now here, people, I confess to having cheated slightly, because my partner in crime for this challenge and my friend Candy from Candy's Crafty Creations, when we met, when she came to meet me, she came with a gift bag full of the most beautiful bits and pieces that she'd made, and gave it to me as a kind of hand-delivered happy mail, which was absolutely awesome. And amongst this was this snippet roll, which is hand stitched all over, at least machine stitched all over, as you can see. So I am actually using this on little postcard replicas, also from Candy, when this is what she put into my bag, you know, my box for this challenge, the box of 19 items. And she had these little mini postcards in there for me. So what I've done is I've turned them into little tags, and I've attached some of her snippet roll on here. So I've killed two birds with one stone, as it were, because I have the machine stitching and the postcards. And if that's a cheat, I'm sorry. But I'm not really all that sorry. I will be regretful, but I'm not sorry, because I'm doing catch up, folks, and that's my excuse, and I shall stick to it. So let's put that out of the way. The final thing that I have to do here, which is a struggle, I'll be quite honest with you, is to make the hole to thread a little piece of ribbon through, because we're punching through the fabric, which my punch is not prepared to do for me. So never mind, we will persevere. That's right, I wanted this one to go that way. So this will be the top of this one. This is rather gorgeous, you know, the snippet roll. It's got bling on it. There's a little bit of metallic paint. It's sort of scattered across everywhere. It's really lovely. It is really lovely. She's such a talented person. Anyway, here we go. I'm going to make my hole here. And what I do is I use the awl and I stab it as far as it'll go to make a... Oops, I'm not exactly centered today. Never mind. Then I'll take my little tiny scissors and just cut another little couple of slits, just to open up through the fabric, because it took me about half an hour to get the other one done with the eyelet and so on. So what I do now is I take my punch, and all that basically does is cut through the paper around the outside of the hole. As you can see, the paper is still in there. I mean, the fabric is still in there. So I can get the neat circles of cardboard and paper out of the way, And it does give me the opportunity to just have a go at cutting the fabric because it gets kind of pulled over to one side. So there we go, success. I more or less have a hole. Now let me grab my brad. Not my brad, what's it? My eyelet. Nice shiny brassy eyelet, which I'm saying looks gold. And it goes with the metallic paint splatters on here, I think. Okay. Where's my little tool for squashing this down? There we go, sorted. Okay, that worked very well, but as I said, we are a tad off center. Never mind. Now this, I'm calling it sari silk. It's a rug that I have taken to pieces. It was a it's not really a rag rug. I don't think you could call it that, because what it is the fabric pieces are rolled up into a long sausage and then woven with a thread or a yarn of some sort into mats. So it's kind of got these stripes of color all the way across the mat. And mine started coming apart. They're not very strong. So I had one in the past that kind of came apart on me. And I found that if I unraveled it carefully and washed the fabric strips, I had some rather lovely stuff to cut into this kind of thing. And as I say, I'm calling it sari silk because I have a feeling that this is what is being sold overseas as sari silk. I have a feeling that these fabric pieces are what is cut off the end of saris that are being now made with synthetic fabric in India, and because these mats are made in India. And I think it's quite a clever idea to save landfill and that kind of thing, and also to make a little bit of money out of something that would actually be thrown away in the past. Okay, so there we have it, our little postcards that have now been turned into tags. And that I'm quite happy about. I'm going to keep this little paper clip because it's quite useful for threading through the eyelets to get the ribbon through. Okay, so that is the next prompt done and dusted. Where's my pen? Where is my pen? Here's my pen. Space is very limited here in this little spot, but I do love it. Right, postcard and hand or machine sewing, done and dusted. I'm catching up quite rapidly. Now it's journaling card and tiny letters. And I had a look at it and I gave it some thought, and I have decided what I'm going to do. Let's put those. I'm putting everything in a little basket that I'm doing in this challenge because a lot of it is going into my remembery. I'm using this as an opportunity to create ephemera and embellishments and bits and pieces Okay, so the next challenge is journaling card and tiny letters. So again, part of the box of tricks sent to me by Candy. I have a oh my goodness, what are these things called? Index card, maybe? I don't know, can't remember now. Such a long time since I worked in an office. But long enough to know that these were actually part of our admin system. Okay, I cut it to fit because I have this sneaky plan. This would make a rather nice pocket for here. But I do want to make this a little bit longer, so I'm going to put it in sideways so that it stands out of the pocket like this. However, this is going to be the journaling side of the journaling card. Pulled out some decorations and of course tiny letters. How's that for tiny letters? That's part again of my ancient magazine. So this is going to be collaged onto the front of this card. Oh, no, it's not. I'm wanting to just make it a little bit longer than what I've done here. So I'm going to glue this onto a piece of black card because I happen to have black card lying around, and not because I'm a fan, but it is rather handy and it does go with the general color scheme of things. So I'm going to do it this way. Is it still going to fit into my pocket, I wonder? Yes, it is plenty wide enough. Okay, that's problem solved. So now what I'm going to do is take my paper trimmer . And that should be about right. There we go. Okay. That's going to be fine. It is going to go into the pocket sideways, so it will be going into the pocket like that. But there's no reason why that should affect journaling on it in that direction. So now let's put the front list over here again. Put the trimmer away. Don't think I'm going to need that, but one doesn't. One can never tell. Okay. Incidentally, seeing as how it's Christmas time, I've decided to put up some decorations and started with my hands. Sorry. just showing off a bit. My daughter got me this lovely ring. I think it's gorgeous. I mean, it's junk jewelry, let's be totally honest, but so is that little one, which I also love dearly. So in fact, even my amethyst is junk because it's in copper, not silver, but that's okay. Copper's good for arthritis. Okay, having boasted a little about that and flashed my stuff, let's get back to business. Okay, tiny writing, I've got that. I've got this. Okay, so I'm wondering if I ought to collage or if I should just go ahead. I think I'll collage. Because I rather like this, and it will go with the black edge, won't it? Yes. Okay, sorted. So I want to make things look as if they're meant to go in this direction. So that is what I'll do. However, okay, so then, where's my trusty ruler? I'm going to tear, I'm not going to cut. Ooh, sorry about the noise, folks. Okay, now as you know, I love this sort of edge that these pages are bordered with. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take it across here. Because that will give me enough of an edge, I think. I'm doing this the right way. Let's make sure that I'm doing this correctly. Yes, I am. Okie dokie, so I've finished this one off camera. I just put a couple of extras on here, and then 2 little sentiments, comments, whatever you like to call them. Believe you can, and you got this. So if somebody wants to offload on the back of this journaling card, that is the message for them, and they can write there. So there we have it, folks. Let's mark it off on the prompts list. There we've got journaling card in tiny letters, postcard, and hand or machine sewing. And there we've got that. So I am now up to date. The next prompt is snippets and grandma's buttons. And although I've done snippets on here, I'll be doing other snippets for that particular prompt. So it's nice to be home. It's nice to be back. It's nice to be recording again. So if you liked this video, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would love you to subscribe. And of course, as always, your comments are so valued. So thanks again for watching, and we'll be back soon.